You reach into the vent and retrieve a navy blue duffel bag, just as the engineer said you would. The distinctive shape of a rifle barrel can be seen through the canvas. Here you go, Iger, all yours. She takes the bag from you and unzips it. Her eyes go wide. When he said that this was custom, he wasn't kidding. Gingerly, she reaches into the bag and pulls out a sleek, angular shape. This is a SETA AUG CSL multi-weapon system, a very nice and very expensive piece of hardware. Yuri put a lot of aftermarket work into this. I don't even recognize some of those accessories he's bolted onto this thing. You feel comfortable using it? She shoulders the rifle and peers through the scope. A grin grows on her face. Yes, I do. It looks like these aftermarket mods have more or less locked it into an assault rifle configuration. But that's alright. I've been looking for a worthy mid-range weapon, and this will do nicely. Oh, so I didn't have to buy you one. She slings the rifle, then claps you on the shoulder. Come on, fearless leader, let's go back home. Lead the way, I'm right behind you. Hang on, Iger, I'm not comfortable leaving Winter Night to the flux state. I think we should handle them ourselves. Should we? Well, I don't know, maybe. What you're suggesting is beyond the scope of our capabilities. I don't have any contacts in Norway. We wouldn't even know where to begin looking for Winter Night. And if we found them, what then? The two of us aren't gonna stop an international conspiracy on our own. We're good, but we're not that good. Speak for yourself. Yeah, you know what? I don't. Alright, we'll let the flux stay handle it. Good call, let's go. I don't think the game's actually gonna let me handle Winter Night by ourselves. Alright, return to the Krauts Bazaar. The U-Bahn whisks you back to the Krauts Bazaar, Iger standing by your side. The image of the engineer's body disintegrating in flame replays itself over and over in your mind. The bright flash, the shower of sparks, the overpowering stench of sizzling meat. A blue-green afterimage hangs suspended in the center of your field of vision, and it refuses to be blinked away. From what Iger told you, the engineer was a menace, an international criminal at the top of his game, and as you watched, he was consumed from within by a device that marked him as disposable. The rattle of your U-Bahn car coming to a halt shakes you from your reverie. You're home. Huh. Like, is that it? Like, is that the end of that particular sequence? What am I doing next? Range combat and then SMG. Alright, I don't think anybody has anything to say to us. Yeah, no. If anything, probably Iger has something to say to us. I don't have anything here, do I? No. Don't have weapons to buy. Let's go back. So, doing these personal missions, Blitz got an upgrade for his deck. Iger got a new rifle. Dietrich got a special ability from the Dragon Slayer. Right, so take the van to Harrow's compound. Alright, let's go on a mission with Glory. Take the van. Glory? Feuerstelle. The drive from the Krauts Bazaar to the Schonbusch forest was a long one. For over 6 hours, you and Glory rode in relative silence, with only the sounds of the road for company. Now you find yourself crouching in the woods, watching, waiting. Off in the distance, the rustic exterior of the Feuerstelle looks curiously warm and inviting, but you know what's waiting inside. The anticipation churns at your guts like a living thing. Eventually, a van pulls out of the compound driveway and rolls out along a service road before disappearing from view. Glory gives you a nod and begins to scramble forward. Harrow has left the building. It's time for you to make your way inside. So Harrow leaves, and then when we go in, let me get my grenade back. Can she use this? Can she use the assault rifle? Unspent karma, I don't want to spend karma. The withered edifice of Feuerstelle looms above you, dark and sinister in the chill night air. Despite the horrifying stories that Glory told you about this place, something about it feels strangely comforting. At the back of your mind, insidious voices whisper that you could stay here forever. Do you feel it? The lure of this place? Glory gestures with a limb of chrome and steel. When I was a kid, when I was whole, the pull was irresistible. Yeah, I feel it, but that doesn't change what we have to do. No, it doesn't. She looks at you, and her eyes are dark. When she speaks again, her voice is quiet but steady. You're gonna see some terrible things in this place, SCKC. Feuerstelle exists to prey on the young, and we're going to have to come face to face with that. Are you sure that you're prepared for this? Glory. Yeah. I'm not a saint. And I'm not innocent either, Glory. I mean, I've seen bad things, I've done bad things, I can imagine bad things. Alright, when you say the young, how young do you mean? Like 4? No way, they can't put that in the video game. Okay, never mind. How young are we? Like 15? Teenagers mostly, 16 through 18, though there is the rare exception. Alright, so not 4. So there are laws against putting like violence against children in video games. So they wouldn't put 4-year-olds being tortured in a video game. That's not a thing. See what I mean? Like, Glory is like, are you really prepared for this, SCKC? And I'm like, prepared for what? What could they possibly be doing? Whatever is going on in my head is worse than what this game is going to show us, is what I'm saying. Alright, so not that young then. Not children. There was a time when Harrow played with luring younger children here, but he found them to be more trouble than they were worth. The younger the child, the more likely that someone might come looking for them. Yeah, and they don't provide very much physical labor. Because they're tiny. Better to stick with the lost, desperate souls who've already spent years on the street, the cast-off that nobody cares about. Lord knows there are enough of them out there. Well... So I ask you again, are you ready for this? I need an honest answer. Don't worry about me, I'm solid. She studies your face for a moment longer, then looks away. Good. You want to compare notes? Make sure that we're both on the same page? She nods. We save the street kids and runaways that are living here. We take them away from this place before Harrow can turn them into monsters. We keep them from following in my footsteps. Right. But if Harrow comes back, we kill him. Happily. Any suggestions as to how we should approach this? Harrow keeps a shrine in the compound. It's the key to his control over the cultists. We're gonna purify the shrine and break that control, and then we're gonna lead those kids out of here. Tell me more about this shrine. It's a lump of rock about as tall as I am, inscribed with runes and encrusted with bone. Its power comes from an entity that Harrow bound into the stone, something very old and very dangerous, a toxic spirit. In many ways it is the heart of this place. He bound the adversary to a rock? Oh, the adversary can't be happy about that. We should let him out, and then we should let the adversary deal with Harrow, is what I think. The voices that you can hear whispering in the back of your mind, those are the spirit's voices. It saps the will of anyone who sets foot on these grounds. We can't save those kids until the shrine is dealt with. They'll fight us if we try. I want to hash out a few more details before we head inside. That makes sense. If you have any questions, it'd be best if you ask them now. How do we purify the spirit? Some sort of ceremony or ritual? Something like that. It'll be easier to just show you. I've got everything we need right here. She what? She pats the satchel that hangs from her shoulder. When the time comes, I'll conduct the ritual, but before I can do that, we're gonna have to face the spirit on its own terms. And that's gonna be dangerous, SCKC. Why attempt to purify the spirit at all? Why not just kill it? Because it's unkillable? The spirit has its fingers in the minds and auras of every kid in this compound. If we kill it, those kids will get hurt. They might even be killed. We can't take that risk, but if we can cleanse the adversary's corruption from it, it might withdraw from their minds willingly. And then we can get them out of here. Exactly. If the shrine controls the people here, then how do you have anything to feel guilty about? Nothing that you did under Harrow was really your fault. It's not that simple. Her face flushes red, and she breaks eye contact with you. I wish that were true, but it isn't. Yeah, no, it's not that simple. Back before I ran away, Feuerstelle was nothing more than a cult of personality that revolved around Harrow. He didn't need magical help to keep us here. We loved him, and we believed in his message. He created the shrine as an insurance policy. And you think that something has changed, and that is he started abusing the shrine's power. She nods. Yes, and I think that my escape was the cause of that change. I know Harrow. When I ran, I bruised his ego. His charisma and charm had failed him, and my disappearance rubbed his nose in that failure. He wouldn't be willing to chance something like that happening again, not when he had the means to prevent it. So the cultists here, they're like puppets? The shrine controls them? Not exactly, it's more insidious than that. Think of the shrine influence as a drug. It lowers your inhibitions, makes you compliant. If you were to stay here for a couple of days, you'd fall in love with this place, and you wouldn't even know why. All of Harrow's bullshit would start to make sense, you'd be happy. In essence, all of the street kids here are addicted to this place. That makes them a threat, yes, but it also makes them victims. Alright, let's go back to talking about what we're gonna do. I think I know everything that I need to, let's get moving. She nods and the razors flick out of her fingertips. I'm with you, let's do it. Can I look at her abilities? So she has ranged combat 5. She doesn't have the rifle skills, but she has enough ranged combat to use the gun. Okay, so you know how the guns have special skills like aim shot, auto shot, things like that? So she probably can't use any of those. She can just use normal single fire. on the rifle. But maybe even that's better than her pistol. Hold on, let me just check. Pistol is like 12 damage. Gun is 12 damage. It's got more capacity. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's not better. I haven't used her gun in a while. Maybe I should. She's upgraded her gun skills, right? Alright, let's go in. There's nothing else out here, right? It looks real nice. Look at the stonework. Who built this place? Wait a minute. This took money. It took money to build this place. Door locked. There's other doors. We should ransack the place, right? You can hear a distant murmuring sound coming from inside the room. Voices, 3, maybe 4 people, all talking amongst themselves. You can't make out what they're saying, but one of the voices sound desperate. You've heard the tone before. It's the sound of a man pleading for his life. We should keep moving. Whatever's going on in there, we don't have to get involved. Sounds like somebody's in trouble in there. I don't doubt it, but we can't do anything about that right now. The cultists in there may have been brainwashed by Harrow. Whatever they're doing, they aren't doing it of their own accord. After we've purified the shrine, then we can intervene. But if we go in there now, they're gonna attack us, and we're gonna have to kill them. That's not what I came here to do. Put your ear to the door. I'm not leaving without knowing what's going on in that room. Alright, back down. You know what? It's not important. It's not freaking important. You hear voices speaking in low tones through the wood of the door. You can't make out the words, but regular choruses of rough laughter tell you that the people on the other side are enjoying themselves. Those voices belong to Harrow's acolytes. They'll have some magical training, and they like hurting people. You open that door, we're gonna have to have a fight on our hands. How do you know that they're acolytes? Process of elimination. Initiates aren't allowed in that room. That's one of Harrow's rules. On the rare occasion that initiates is invited in, he usually doesn't come back out again. What happens in there? Her mouth tightens. It's a sort of lounge for Harrow's inner circle. The acolytes and the bait girls and Harrow's wives. Martha and I used to spend a lot of time in there. Right, so orgies happen in there. Oh, a van? Glory pauses at the side of the van. She traces the side of it with a claw. I remember cruising the back alleys of Tübingen looking for kids in need of help. The bait girls, Marta and others like her, would offer them money, or food, or drugs, or sex. Whatever it took to get them into the van, and once they piled in, Harrow and I would be waiting to greet them. I remember so many nights like that. She frowned. I remember how much I used to enjoy it. You're not the same person that you were back then. Leave the past in the past. In all that time, nobody ever caught you. Coming back here shows integrity, Gory. Most runners that I know wouldn't have done what you're doing tonight. This is like a whole lot of different things. Nobody ever caught you? Nobody ever seemed to care. These were street kids, remember. They don't have money or influence or families. Nobody was out looking for them. To be honest, I don't know if anyone ever noticed that they were gone. Alright.